What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Temple Sports Hour here on Philly's #1 college radio station, WHIP. Kieran McCauley, John Henry, RB Fogel, taking you all the way up till the 1 o'clock hour here. And I'll tell you what, kudos to all of us for coming in here in this ice storm. I didn't realize we were in Antarctica right now. It's ridiculous.
It's a mess out there. Well, like Chase was saying, when have we seen this last?
Yeah, you're right.
Every other day we're getting some huge ice storm.
This is our 7th winter storm of the year.
What, do we live in Minnesota now?
Some sort of stat today that we've had more snow this year than the past 3 combined.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
I was just reading that Chester County's got hit the hardest they've ever gotten hit in their entire, ever since they've been around.
Yeah, and our neck of the woods, Westchester's under some sort of state of emergency type thing because they got like a half-inch of ice.
It's crazy.
So
we
didn't get hit too hard here, but
it could not come at a better time because the start of the Winter Olympics, the Sochi 2014 games, start tomorrow night. If you guys are aware, I don't know, you guys are kind of looking at me a little bit. Were you aware of this
really?
coming into the studio today?
February 6th, I knew this. I knew it was coming up, but it's not like I'm counting down the minutes, But it's I'm really looking forward to it.
When it's on, you'll turn it on, but I'm not looking forward to watching alpine skiing or whatever it's called. But like I said, I'll turn it on, and it's something different. It's something you don't see every day. And that's what's cool about it.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you say is your excitement level for this start of the Olympic Games?
5. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to curling, though, so maybe a 7.
What about you, Johnny?
I'll one up you a little bit. I'll go 5.5. Just because when I saw Shaun White's just backed out too of it.
Yeah, he got hurt.
He got hurt.
Oh, he's out now.
He
said he was going to be okay, though.
No, I was just reading. Yeah, he's one of the few guys that I actually know.
See, yeah.
That just ruined everything for us.
Exactly. You're really pulling for Shaun White, a guy that you can kind of root for.
I was going to give sarcasm there to the left side with Fogel. I would say I'm at like a 7.5 because I love the Olympic Games. It's because there's sports. It's nonstop sports, 24 hours a day for 2 straight weeks. Now the problem is it runs into, like I was saying before the show, when we were on the main event, how they're not relatable sports. Like you said, alpine skiing and cross-country skiing and curling, even though I know RB always was a prodigy when it came to curling.
I like curling,
That's such an interesting sport where they got to sit there and shave the ice off as the little ball's going down.
That's what you get the winter, these unique events that you just don't see often.
That's a great point, though. Isn't that kind of cool to see? When else are you going to see curling? It's kind of an interesting, intriguing experience.
Well, there's two ways to look at it. You're right. I mean, it's not relatable, but it's something you don't see every day. So, if you're looking for something new, then it's there. But obviously, the hockey is, at least for us, I think it's the most we're looking forward to. Talking about Crosby ripped our hearts out a couple years ago. Crybaby Crosby, as Chase said, that was a great way to describe it. That hurts because he plays for Canada. And it's Sidney Crosby. And then we're talking, there's people out in Pittsburgh who wear that Sidney Crosby Canadian jersey. I know
that's
there's
a violation. That bothers me. And you're right. You brought up a great point. That is a violation on every single account. When the Olympics go on, you're rooting for your country because they are representing you. It's no different than the NHL. Mm-hmm. You root for Philadelphia because Philadelphia represents you. You live in this city, so you root for that team. It's no different. Just it's on a bigger scale with the countries.
You can kind of pull for Crosby if you're from Pittsburgh. You can pull for individual guys that are on your team, but you still, in the end, have to root for your country. It's the same as rooting for, not the player on the back, but rooting for the city or whatever on the front of the shirt. And you see that a lot. People, the biggest with the NBA, people root for just the individuals. And no, it's about the team because individuals come and go. The team is always going to be there, so it's a straight-up violation, in my opinion. But I understand the conflict that's involved in Pittsburgh, if you have a Canadian Crosby jersey.
Exactly. It's a violation, no doubt about it, but whatever.
I'll tell you what, I need it bad. I need the gold medal bad this year. If I'm the U.S., man, let's take a look at what exactly happened 4 years ago when Crosby ripped our hearts out.
Punched along to Jerome McGinley. Crosby scores! It's over! The gold medal to Canada!
You could not ask for a bigger screw you to Philadelphia. You could not.
The U.S. tied it up right before that.
Yep, Zach Parise.
Zach Parise with 30 seconds left or whatever. That's what made it even more painful because they tied it up. They came back to tie it. And
U.S. hasn't won since 1980.
Yeah, that's tough to listen to.
It's a double whammy, having Crosby score and It's Canada.
Well, because they don't like us either. They don't like the U.S. and they want. And it was in Vancouver too. It was on their home ice. It was a home game for them. Basically, it was a home game. That just hurt so much because I was thinking, just don't let Crosby score anyone else, and that was so typical Philadelphia fashion. Overtime, bam! Right in front of you. Oh, because we're all starting to fantasize about it. The U.S. was playing so well in that overtime too.
It was a great run though by the U.S. You got to look at it. You got to the gold medal
don't
game.
be soft like that. Come on now.
It's a good run, but it still hurts.
I'm saying it was a good run. We weren't expected to go to the gold medal game that year, and we got
you ain't first. You last.
It kind of reminds me of the Winter Classic a little bit. I know it's a way bigger scale, but like losing those 2 Winter Classic games, especially the recent Rangers game, sticks out the most because it's unique. And I just remember, Briere had that shootout, or not the shootout, that penalty shot against the Rangers late with 30 seconds left. Stuff like that just sticks. It was a tough loss. They went up 2-0, lost 3-2. But it's similar to that, the outdoor game that the Flyers have to, and the USA have to lose. Like, come on.
It depends on how well they do, because you're right. They kind of made us invest in them once they started winning and playing really well, and they got to that gold medal game.
Well, they have us believing.
Yeah, exactly. And because I remember in 2006 in the Turin games, it was no one really cared because I remember the U.S. could not score a goal. I just remember Mike Modano out there slipping and sliding all over the ice. But you're right. It really comes down to how good this team is. I like this squad. Patrick Kane, man, the captain. I think it's going to be a good squad.
World champion.
But they need to beat Canada. We need to come back here and get some gold. Like I said, we have not gotten it since the Miracle on Ice in '80.
The other thing, thinking about Claude Giroux just got snubbed. It's a good thing. He's more fired up to play for the Flyers because he got snubbed. And I don't want to root against Giroux because he's our man. Chance of getting hurt, so that's kind of a blessing in disguise. That Giroux did not make Team Canada.
It's not in disguise; it's a blessing.
Yeah,
but I'm saying, he was not happy about it.
He gets to rest.
Exactly.
He's going to be more fired up. Like all these points you just brought up. This is the ideal situation for a Flyers fan, and it gives us more motivation to hate Canada. We got Crosby there as the captain. Come on now.
It was a big time snub though. He leads the NHL in points the last 2 months.
Yeah.
It
really
didn't
turned
make
it
any
around
sense.
this year.
I don't get it. I mean, he's a captain. It's a little debatable, but he's proved over the last 2 months that he's definitely a captain in this league. But you're right. You'll watch the hockey. I mean, is there any other events, guys, that you have to watch?
Yeah.
I mean, that I'm missing. I mean,
I've got one.
Not that I have to watch. What do you got, Kieran?
I love snowboard cross. You remember that one? They're on the top of the hill. It's like it's new. It's pretty new. It started in 06.
Right?
It's not the half pipe. What it is, it's about I think it's 4 snowboarders start at the top of the hill.
Is it like a race?
Yeah, it's a race, and they race down to the bottom of the hill. And I'm glad you led to that segue because that is one of the best. I would say. One of the moments that sticks in my head the best. It wasn't exactly a great memory, but in 2006, does anyone remember Lindsay Jacobellis?
You showed me the video, but I couldn't.
I'll never forget. In 2006, it was the inaugural year for this snowboard cross, and like I said, RB, it's a race just to the bottom of the hill. And the U.S. was supposed to kind of dominate because it has that down the hill snowboarding U.S. kind of vibe to it, I guess, if you want to put it in that term. But Lindsay Jacobellis was the head-on favorite, American girl, and they go into the final race, and she is blowing everyone out of the water. She's destroying everybody, and she's down to the final hill. All she has to do is land it, and she wins, and this is what happened.
Lindsay did everything she was supposed to do. She got out in a difficult position out of the gate and was able to pull over and pull away from all the contact.
Like I said, all she wanted was the whole shot, and she could just run with it.
Exactly. Jacobellis goes down. Jacobellis goes down. A shocker on the home stretch. Tanya Frieden of Switzerland grabs the gold, and Jacobellis gets the silver.
I love the coloring. It's my gosh.
Could you imagine all that hard work? You have the lead in the final race to get the gold medal. You're whatever it was, 100 feet away from getting it, and you choke and you fall
Shame
down.
on her. She showboated. But that's the thing. To paint a picture for the audience, as she was going off the last hill, she did kind of a little leg kick thing that you see in Tony Hawk Pro Skater when her kids playing that game, and she fell. She didn't land it. So she was kind of showboating a little bit, and it doomed her.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know much about it, but a sport like that, I don't think you could, showboat too much. It's not like you're going in for like a layup in basketball or something like that. You got an open net.
A nice way to put it. That's what it was probably close to.
You're skating, flying, however fast they're going down a ramp. I mean, it's a little dangerous. Last time I checked.
Like I know Usain Bolt slowed up, but he still won. He slowed up a little bit, but he still won.
Yeah.
No, on the snowboard's different. I can't believe that. I never heard about that. That's crazy.
It is crazy.
entertainment, though. Because now, look, we're still talking about it.
No,
Yeah,
I'm saying from a personal perspective for her. You know,
it was 8 years ago, and we're still talking about it. So that's what I love about it. It's that competition, and it's like I think the biggest thing is, as I mentioned earlier, it's non-stop sports. There's going to be great plays, great moments, great events for 2 straight weeks, and it only happens every 4 years, so it's pretty cool to see that.
And it's the best of the best, and the entire country's watching, too. You know, I mean, you're playing for your country. You know, no matter who these people are, they say USA, you're going to root for them. And you have that rooting interest, too. You know, you see, Canada, then you see the United States, Russia, whatever, but it's good to just single out that one person. That's the other thing that's good,
There's 6,000 competitors in the Olympics this year, which is which is a record.
Well, that's,
great reaction.
I didn't know that.
6,000 athletes.
What's the average? What's the average for
There's 230 on Team USA. There's 85 countries competing. And did you know that the average amount of hours spent making one medal for the Olympics takes 18 hours?
Really? Wow.
18 hours.
I didn't know that. That's good stats. But I mean, like you said, 6,000 people. What is the norm for like the amount of people that are involved in the Winter Olympics? Do you know that or no?
Well, it varies between countries. I mean, you look at Jamaica and Cool Runnings. There's 4 guys doing bobsledding. Or 5 guys. So and then you got probably Canada and Austria are probably going to send their entire country over because that's all they do is ski and play hockey. So it really varies, but like I said, there's 85 countries and 230 members of Team USA, and it pains me. It agonizes me to say that Lindsey Vonn will not be one of those walking out tomorrow night.
It's a shame.
Oh, God.
She's
gorgeous.
Shaun White and Lindsey Vonn, 2 of America's, really pull for in snowboarding, skiing, but they both pull out with injuries, and it's a shame because you really do pull for those 2 players.
Yeah, right. That's all you can do.
Competitors.
That's all you really can do with the Olympics because we don't know too many people, and then you just highlight a couple big names, you root for them. But you're right. I think as a huge sports fan, this is a dream come true. Non-stop sports. What else can you ask for?
I think the thing that I'm the most excited about, I saw this stat this morning when I was in class, because I'm paying attention more to the Olympics.
Weren't you supposed to be paying attention?
Yeah. Well, I was looking at it, and it's costing $51 billion for these Olympic Games in Sochi, Russia. Wow. It costs $6 billion in Canada.
Wow.
Talk about a swing there. Well, so I'm expecting the whole world to show up. I'm expecting just the most astronomical things to occur tomorrow night.
I just hope it's all safe. There's been rumors out that it might be a little dangerous being there because there's some bomb threats or whatnot. So,
really?
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Where have you been living under a rock, John?
I've been listening. I don't. Like I said, I'm not a huge Olympic guy. When it comes, I'll turn it on, but I'm not like chomping at the bit. If I see something, I'll read it, but I'm not, looking deep. I mean, I don't know. I heard something like there
34 people were killed in December. Nothing else rings a bell.
Yeah, it's big, and the mayor of the town comes out and says there's no gay or lesbian people in our town. Like this big, bold statement. It's like, whoa, what?
And it's crazy because
a little.
There's 3 openly gay people or lesbian people competing in these games,
exactly.
So that just stirs it up. That's just bad for competition in sports. But you brought up a great point, RB, with this whole safety thing. If you could go in a crystal ball and I said to you, RB, I've got 2 tickets for you to go to the Sochi games. Don't worry, your professor said all your homework is going to be covered, airfare, hotel, everything. You're good. All you have to do is show up. Would you go?
Definitely, no doubt about it.
So you're not scared of the terrorism?
No,
because it's all speculation. I mean, you hear stuff, but when you start hearing stuff, it's probably nothing's going to happen because everything that happens is under the radar.
Exactly. With so many people going, you got to take that opportunity if you're given it.
It's the Olympics. I mean, I would take it.
I like how you guys say this, and then we walked in here and we're talking, and you're like, I just don't think I'm really that big of an Olympic guy. I just don't really care that much. But it's the Olympics.
Yeah, but I had the opportunity to go. I would go in a heartbeat. I'm not saying that. I'll watch it on TV, but I'm not saying I'm going to look. I'm not going to pay for a ticket. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to spend what is it?
All right, I was going to say, you're getting right to that. How much do you think it costs for the average ticket?
How does it work? For like one event or like a whole day's worth? Or I mean,
it says I'm looking at the sheet right here. It says an event ticket and the maximum price of how much those cost. I guess the best seats for that. How much do you think they cost?
$500 for an event like that.
It's a little higher than that, Rich. Keep going. John, what do you got?
It's a bit.
You said it's higher?
It's higher than $500.
It is higher? Well, I'll go something like $900.
$1,200. $1,200 to see someone play in the snow.
See, I'd rather spend $500 and go see the Super Bowl, even if it's not my team's not even playing.
Didn't you say you'd take out a loan if the Eagles were in it?
Why not?
Wow, that's dedication right there, my man.
That's a one-day event.
I wouldn't even say
you can
500.
see everything in a day. I guess you can go wherever you want and then see whatever event you want to see. You have a pass to whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, that's still that's a.
But still, $1,200. It's more of the experience. You're paying for the experience and the story to tell, more so than just the events themselves.
That's hard to believe.
You're traveling to Russia too, which
and you're going to a different.
It's just kind of an experience in of itself,
which is another grand. So.
And then he said you got to get there, pay for the ticket.
So I think it's like a 23-hour flight.
Yeah,
and there's no straight shot to Sochi from Philadelphia, too. There's a couple connecting flights along the way there.
You got to know 4 years before you're going to go or something.
Seriously.
And I'll tell you what, this is the stat that really jumps out. How many drug tests do you think will be given during the Olympic Games for those 2 weeks?
7.
Yeah, 7 there.
I don't know.
Clearly, RB's not a math major here at Temple University.
Wait, what do you mean? To each individual person?
Well, everyone's going to just get tested once. I'm talking about how many tests you think we'll give out, because they go out. Not everyone's going to get tested. It's random.
I'm going to say altogether like 500. Am I way off? I don't really know. It's kind of a tough question.
Guys, you said you're a lackluster Olympic fan when you came in here today, but you were not kidding. You were not kidding.
Wait, what is
2,453 tests will be given out in Sochi starting
basically
tomorrow.
1 out of every 3 people will get tested.
I thought you were saying how many times they're going to test every athlete, not like every drug test.
I was waiting for John to be like, they're going to
athlete.
test someone 2,000 times? I thought that was coming out of your mouth.
Kieran's a little confused there. He's got a Duquesne shirt on, so that's probably why he's a little...
I saw I had to do the laundry, and I didn't feel like putting it all away. So I'm rocking my freshman year tour at,
I like that.
You'll get
off at Duquesne University.
You might get an Esberg comment tonight, on Duquesne, because he stopped the Colorado. Not to go off topic, but our roommate wears a lot of Colorado stuff, wears a lot of Penn State stuff, barely wears any Temple stuff. RB, violation or not?
Big time. Yeah. I mean, didn't even. You can't be wearing other school stuff that's not in the Philadelphia area. I don't like that.
Every once in a while, it's okay, but I mean, I don't want to go way too far off topic talking about the Berg.
Well, the Berg. I'll tell you. All right, well, let's step aside here. Let's take a break here on the Temple Sports Hour. We got plenty more for you on the other side of this. 215-204-9449 is the number if you want to call in and chat up some Olympics. On the other side of this, if you don't believe me, I'm telling you, look at the calendar. Springtime is coming soon. Pitchers and catchers reporting in less than a week. So we're going to break down the fills on the other side of this. Your time right now in the WHIP studios is 12:20.